Many of us have to work longer hours than ever just to be able to survive. But even if you do a job you love, you might not be able to spend the exact amount of time on your career that you spend on your private life. Many say that it is a myth to have a definite balance between career and personal life. But let's find out if work-life balance is a myth or a skill for 2021. Please remember to give us a like if you enjoyed this video, then subscribe to our channel and turn on the notifications. That way you will never miss a thing. Is it important to achieve a balance? Many experts say no, not really. There's no such thing as having complete balance in your life. There is always something that needs more attention. Sometimes you need to focus on your career, sometimes you need to focus on your personal life or on your health. Life isn't always that easy to plan and things don't always go to plan, so this theory of creating a perfect balance in your life might just make you feel miserable. Most experts say that it wasn't even really truly possible even back in the 70s when the phrase was coined. Even then there was this feeling of controlling your life completely, and when you couldn't, then it was treated as a failure. So it was pretty much inevitable that you would fail at some point. Having a perfect work-life balance might be just nice in theory, but it just isn't possible. Something will always remain a priority, no matter how skilled you are. The idea of compartmentalizing isn't so easy to do. Most of the theories that speak about work-life balance say that you should make sure your life is completely 50-50, spending half of your time working and the other half having a personal life. That is nice, but I'm not sure when other things like taking care of kids and your home and doing other things will come into play then. And most of us spend way more than 50% of our lives busy with our jobs too, so that doesn't seem entirely practical. Then another says that you should break each day into 3 equal sections, each with 8-hour slices, 8 hours sleeping, 8 hours working, and 8 hours of private time. But who gets 8 hours of private time each and every day, and how many of us get 8 hours of sleep each night either? I know that it would be much better for all of us, but it just doesn't seem possible at all. The 9-to-5 jobs mean that we only work 8 hours at a time are still possible, but it doesn't happen a lot anymore. Most people work quite a few more hours just to survive. Work should be left at the office. Now more than ever, this idea is kind of funny. Since 2020, more of us than ever before have been working from home. There is no more separation from your office and from your home, so both places are the same thing. That makes leaving your work at the office a little bit harder, but even before the global health situation, that wasn't always that easy. Sometimes there are just things that had to get done, deadlines need to be made, so you could stay extra hours at the office, or you could take work home and at least see your family while you are working. Technology also impacts this. We live in a world where we are reachable every second of every day, and technology has impacted this. There is no leaving work at the office because we carry it around in our pockets everywhere we go. Our phones can get emails and calls. And how many of us actually switch our phones off when we get home? When do we see an important email or message, we probably just quickly answer it. So one of the skills to have a better, more balanced life would be able to switch off in that sense. We might never be able to have a perfect balance between the two, but experts do say that it is super important to take time and live in the moment. Technology might make our lives easier in some ways and make our jobs easier, but it does make having a balanced life harder than ever. Our lives are just completely different than they've ever been, and we need to adapt to them in a way that we can still feel fulfilled. You can have it all. This statement is so loaded. Yes, in some ways you could have it all, but it is so difficult to achieve. And you might be able to have it all, but might not always be at the same time. Priorities are important, and deciding what you want to build and when might be the key. There might be a time when you need to put more time to focus on your career, and if you feel like that is important to you, that is okay. And when you start building a relationship or even a family, that might take more of your time, and your focus on your job does. It might get to the point that you do actually take your time at home and completely unplug at home. It all depends on what having everything means to you. It is possible to get the things you really want when you can figure it out what it is you want, because it might not be what other people want. So that will depend on where your focus is and what your priorities will be. Someone needs to be an early bird to be successful. Another myth is that you need to be balanced and get up and work early to be really successful. But is that true? Some people are just more productive later on in the day. Getting up super early could just result in them not being productive at all. Believe me, I am one of those people. Getting up a little later works way better for me than I am willing and able to work a lot longer hours than I might have been. And working at night is my sweet spot. So a normal balanced lifestyle that works for most people just doesn't work for me. My balance looks a lot different than it does for other people, but that doesn't mean I don't have a life. Having a balanced lifestyle could mean taking a morning and going out for breakfast and then working late into the night, or it could mean getting up at 5 a.m. and working until the afternoon and then spending time with your family. People are unique and different, and that means the lifestyle that makes them happy and keeps them fulfilled looks very different too. Making a schedule will help you stay balanced. In some ways, and for some people, this can be completely true. Creating a schedule can definitely help you stay on track and get everything done that you need to do. It helps you to keep track of things you need to do and the goals you need to achieve each day. But that again depends on the type of job you have and how structured and predictable your day is. In some cases, you can make a plan and stick to it. In other areas, there is no way to plan each day and have any hope that you will ever be able to stick to the plan. So it might be a good idea to take a moment each day and figure out what the priorities are and the most important things you need to achieve for that day. But then you might also need to be flexible and be able to go with the flow, or or to get other things done if something else comes up. Being super stuck to your schedule could in some cases just lead to more frustration than it would lead to helping you out and keeping your life balanced. Some believe that the less time you spend on your job, the happier you will be. I guess this could be true. There is nothing nicer than taking a few days off and doing something else, or doing nothing at all, but that could become pretty old pretty quickly too. Having no purpose in life seems pretty empty, and even if you can afford to work less hours, it might not make you happy. Now, I am not talking about people who take time away from jobs to raise kids or take care of their houses and families. Those are full-time jobs too, and anyone that doesn't think so doesn't know what they are talking about. So I don't count that as spending less time working. But spending time just doing nothing and being very unproductive could make you very unhappy. Besides the stress that could come from the financial side of things, having a purpose and something to achieve each day is important to humans. It makes us feel important and makes us feel valuable. But you do need some rest too. So in some senses, you need to figure out a balance, but a balanced lifestyle that works for you. A successful career can make you happy. This is kind of the flip side of the coin. Some people believe that spending all of your time building your career might make you happy. Having a successful career could be a great source of pride and comfort, especially if you are doing a job that you really love, but spending all hours working has been proven to be bad for your health and for your relationships. And I don't just mean romantic relationships. You might not have a romantic relationship as a priority at the time. Some people are even entirely happy to be single forever, and that is fine too. But having friendships and family relationships is important to humans. Scientists have proven that having strong relationships is good for your health and for you as a person. So a job should also not be the only thing in your life, no matter how much you love it. It needs to have some sort of place. Having a work-life balance in the sense that people have described it is just not possible. Our lives and priorities move and fluctuate. We're never going to be able to have a perfect life where work and personal life take up the exact same time. The important thing is to create a balance that makes us happy. Thanks for watching!